Oh, g'day, mate. Your world looks turned upside down. What's going on?
Is it upside down?
You're a bit sideways, mate. How are you? There you go.
There we go.
There he is. How are you, Matt? Good to see you.
Well, how are you?
Yeah, very good. Thank you, mate. I'll let me do a quick intro because yeah, we're super excited to have you on today and hear all about the journey of your dogs, particularly one in particular, who's the old boy you got there. But so, Matt, you're the chief strategy officer at Project Canine Heroes, a partner we're very proud to be connected with, and love the work that you guys do right across the United States with retired police, military dogs. But yeah, mate, super stoked to have you on the call here. This will be a pretty casual conversation, mate. We just like to ask a few questions and find out a little bit about the story. But, mate, do you want to kick off? Maybe just tell us a little bit about your role with Project Canine Hero and all the good work that they do, mate, because it's an incredible organisation.
Yeah, so Project Key Hero is a national nonprofit that takes care of, like you said, military working dogs and police canines. They've served globally, not just in North America, not just in the U.S., but globally. And I serve as a chief strategy officer. I also am the chairman of their capital campaign. So, as part of being chairman of their capital campaign, we raise money for facilities so we could bring more military working dogs and police canines into our 163-acre rehabilitation and rehoming facility in Whitwell, Tennessee. So
Yeah.
that's really what that's. We actually just had a capital campaign meeting 3 hours ago, just wrapped up, and the team's excited to hear about this.
Yeah, and it's awesome what you're doing out there. I've personally visited the property in Tennessee, as you know, and do you want to maybe just explain quickly just the dog kennels and the structure that these dogs get, because they're incredibly well cared for by obviously Jason Johnson and the team out there in Tennessee, and these are pretty elaborate builds, and there's quite a lot of capital involved for these dogs in their builds because they get their own. Well, it's a huge kennel. I mean, for some people, it's a tiny home. Really, Adam. They're an incredible build. But do you want to maybe just explain quickly what the build is and what goes into that?
Yeah, I wish I could remember the brand off the top of my head, but they're absolutely
Yeah,
incredible out facilities with kenneling, with really unique systems for feeding. They have all the boards inside to make sure like all the dogs are getting all their medication, and they're really solid systems for to keep our military working dogs and police canines safe.
yeah,
To also give them easy access to the play yard and make sure that they get everything they deserve in retirement.
yeah.
These dogs need to work, and so Jason has and the operations team there have developed an incredible facility to make sure these incredible military working dogs and police canines get the retirement they deserve.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And look, just it's so good because you guys have such a good understanding of these, particularly older dogs, which is what we're going to talk about today. There's sometimes these dogs have either been injured or, it can be a bit past their prime, and they're looking to be, rehomed into the right environments, which has got to be carefully selected given that they're high active, military dogs. So it's just so good. But, sometimes they're, got conditions and they all age like all dogs and start to struggle with certain things. But let's turn the focus to you and your family. You've got a big family of dogs here, mate. It's 6 dogs in total, I believe, which is quite incredible. Do you want to talk us through the pack of dogs you got there, mate, and then we'll focus on old Maxie here, mate.
Yeah, so you and everyone watching are meeting our oldest. I say 17, but my wife always tells me that I'm aging him, that she's 16. But let's just settle on 16 and a half. This is Max. We rescued him from a nonprofit out in California. We actually flew out to California, went to go get him, and he's been with us for almost 4 years now. So he's nearly 17 years old. We have him in a wheelchair. I'll tell you more about him in a second, but let's go through the list.
Go through
So we
the list
also
of
have a
dogs.
German Shepherd. Her name is Kensington. She's 9. We have an Antolin Shepherd. His name is Sid, who's 2-ish. A Dutch Shepherd. Her name is Harley, who's about the same age. A pit bull named Forte, who's also about the same age. And then we recently picked up the newest member of our pack, Mr. Bruce, who is a 6-month-old German Shepherd mix. And he actually has a really, unfortunately, he has a heart condition, which is why my wife rescued him. So we're giving him everything he deserves. And you're thinking about a dog cloud and just blood flow and all those things that are so important for both older dogs, but just wellness generally. So our pack loves this product, and it does. You don't need to have an older dog to use Dog Cloud Bed to have better mobility and better blood flow.
Yeah, thanks. That's it's so great. I mean, I don't know how you manage 6 dogs. I have enough trouble with 2 kids and a couple of dogs, but it's incredible. So talk us through Max's story. He's really struggling with his mobility a fair bit, and really keen to hear. Now, just to give this a bit of probably credibility too, you were in the dog business yourself previously for about 10 years, so you know dog beds inside and out as good as anyone, been on the manufacturing side, and you ran your own business for a long time, so you understand dog beds very, very well. We met in Orlando back in March at the Global Pet Expo. We had a nice a few days together. It was awesome, actually. We had a really good, fun night at a restaurant with a nice couple of bottles of red wine, which was also ripping fun. But you really know your stuff as well. And I know you'd never seen a dog bed like this before. Obviously, Dog Cloud's very unique with a pretty much world first vibration massage dog bed in the world that's done backed by medically proven human stuff. But I'm really curious as your first impressions of the bed, and then talk us through what Max has been struggling with and how he's going.
Yeah, so my first impression of the bed were, wow, this thing is incredibly well built. It just has really good DNA. It has good structure. Like you said, Scott, I've been in the pet bedding business for the majority of my career, and I've been in the pet industry for 23 years now. And I've developed bedding programs for the largest retailers in the world, the largest e-commerce brands in the world. And one of the things I was shocked about how it arrived. I'll start there. I mean, the unboxing experience was absolutely incredible. A lot of brands and products will not take the time or the intentionality or the cost to ship the product the way that you do. And with older dogs and with having 6, and I have asked my wife to try and hire a kennel tech to live at our house to help us with these dogs. That's an ongoing negotiation. But actually just being able to take it out of the box, plug it in, and have it start working and having it deliver a massage was a really, really good experience, especially with everything we have going on in our life, just both personally and professionally. Secondly, I actually just got this bed out of the laundry. We don't have to wash that often because the fabric does a really good job just wicking away moisture, and it doesn't hold on to any stains like a lot of other fabrics do. And it has a really nice soft hand feel. It was a lot of intentionality and thought was put into this design. But then when you unzip it and you get to the 2 layers of foam, both the foam layer that kind of zippers inside where the dog actually sleeps on, and then the more dense foam underneath that delivers, I don't know, 5 inches, I don't know, of really high quality therapeutic foam for dogs to sleep on. It's a really, really well made product.
Yeah.
And all of our dogs, even the ones that are a little bit afraid of the actual massage, they all, like, if the massage is off, they are stealing it from Max because it's a really, really good thing.
Yeah. No, thanks, mate. I appreciate that feedback too. And a lot of people, and look, you said this to us, and I'm very transparent about a lot of stuff, and I don't mind telling this to people. But we had conversations strategically about can we shrink wrap this and vacuum it down and get our costs of freight and stuff down. But my goal as sort of one of the inventors and CEO is I wanted people to get therapy into their dogs straight away, and that was part of it. It does come at a cost in terms of freight. It's certainly one of those things that doesn't make the bed, the cheapest bed out there, of course, but it is the best, and there's nothing that can do what this bed does in terms of delivering true therapeutic results. And that's what I'm sort of keen to sort of learn about a bit, because, so talk us through Max's condition, because I know, and it's so, mate, so wonderful. Congrats to you and your wife too. Rescuing a dog at 12 years of age that's, it's not a young puppy that's cute and, captures your attention in a window. You guys are true, passionate, loving dog owners who really care about the life of these dogs and the quality of life they have, mate. So hats off to you and your wife. And rescuing Max at that age and watching, what you do for him now. I know the money you've spent on him. And so talk us through the harness, probably what you've seen since you brought him home, how he's progressed over those last sort of 4 or 5 years, where he's at now before Dog Cloud get there, and sort of some of the things you've seen since you've had Dog Cloud, which is about maybe 6 weeks now, I suppose.
Yeah, probably 2 months now.
Yep.
So let me tell your audience. My wife and I were crazy. So we have tried absolutely everything for our dogs. When Max first started having back end issues, mobility issues, we started with physical therapy, and that was both the water treadmill and I'm going to say it's red light. It's not. It's like a three-way light that it delivers a lot of healing properties. So we started there, and then additionally, our physical therapist or Max's physical therapist, who also supports Project Canine Hero and has a number of dogs that he supports in Project Canine Hero's program. So that's Canine Rehabilitation Nashville. So I'd like to give them a shout out.
Yeah.
They're absolutely incredible. And so he turned us on to a red light, infrared red light blanket that we actually put on Max every morning. So we started with that weekly physical therapy, water treadmill, and then the red light treatment all over the main points that help his mobility: hips, knees, back, and his neck. Then I believe, I wish my wife was here, she'd help me. I think after that, we went to a chiropractor. I'm sorry, we went to an acupuncturist that comes to the house every 2 weeks and delivers really like an hour appointment. She's absolutely incredible. And then she and our physical therapist suggested a dog chiropractor. So all around that time, while we're trying all these things out, I don't know. I mean, our goal was obviously to make him more comfortable and to help with mobility. But at this stage in his life, it's more about quality of life and making sure that he's comfortable and that he's pain free. Because we also, when we first started with our physical therapist, he introduced us this Help Me Up harness. And honestly, without this product, there's a good chance that Max wouldn't be with us. I mean, it's allowed us to be outside, to give him the freedom that he deserves, and to give him the support that he needs to, to be mobile and go to the bathroom. And has saved. He's not a small guy. I mean, I think he's 45 pounds, and that still is a lot of work. But it's saved my wife's back and my back, especially when I'm going for work and she's home alone with Max. So we also have the Help Me Up harness. And, in the early stages, and then we also have a wheelchair for Max. So now that his mobility has been impacted, and I showed this to you and your kids during our last call. We do put him in the wheelchair, and he absolutely loves it because he can kind of pull himself around. I can help him, but it gives him the freedom to go to the bathroom and actually just enjoy the outside of our property, and he loves it. So with all that being said, these are all the things I shared with you, and you said, mate, I got to get you a dog cloud bed. So you were listening to this. You're our target audience. So one of the things that I want to share that my wife and I have talked about this a lot, where we think one of the best, what has really helped Max with this dog club bed is he started to sleep a lot better and have a better schedule. Because I believe the massage and the 3 different types of massage that this bed delivers gives him just the additional comfort that he is looking for, or if he is in pain, that massage soothes him and helps his natural, his brain shut down. Because as dogs do, they're like humans, they get sundowners, they get borderline dementia, and they get anxiety. So this bed not only helps with blood flow, but it also helps. It absolutely has a calming factor.
Yeah.
So we couldn't be more thankful that you sent us this bed, and Max absolutely loves it. So that's our Max journey. And these are all products that we have tried to give him the quality of life he deserves. And that's Mr. Max saying hi.
What did you start seeing with the sleep? Was it, when you say like deeper sleeping, was he kind of twitching and REMing a little bit more, or what were you sort of noticing with the sleep? Because we hear this a lot. We know it has a great effect on anxiety. We hear a lot of stories around separation, even storm anxiety with lightning and thunderstorms and stuff. So there's definitely a calming effect. We know the nervous system does relax. We had a previous call a couple of weeks ago with a wonderful guest, Rose, who talks a lot about, she does a lot of somatic method stuff, which is all very nervous system relaxation, getting dogs to be able to decompress and relax. And she absolutely loves the beds for that same reason. But I was curious as to what you saw with the sleep. What physical things that you actually saw? What was it?
Yeah, no, we actually did see the twitching, and so
Yeah.
I wasn't sure what that was tied to. If it was deeper REM sleep, but
Yeah.
we did see him dreaming more, and I think finding a deeper level of sleep. We
Yeah.
also saw him sleeping for a longer period of time, and we introduced the dog cloud bed with the acupuncture, and I think with the needling in the face to help with calming, and the dog cloud bed, those two combinations really help with calming.
Right.
And that helps, and when he sleeps better, we obviously sleep better, and then he's just more comfortable throughout the day. Like you can tell, he has more energy. He wants to eat more. Like he's more alert. We'll go work outside and it's not too hot or too cold, and like he absolutely loves that. And when he doesn't get good sleep, he doesn't enjoy that. Uh, Being outside and the smells and everything that he sees. And so he's actually been spending since this bed during the day. He's spending a lot more time outside with us, and we're really thankful for that because
Yeah.
we can tell he enjoys it.
That's great. That's great. So let me give some medical credibility to that and what you're actually seeing, because in our human stuff, we know, and a lot of people have heard this if they follow us. And if you're new here, we're a medical device manufacturer for humans in Australia, and we have TGA and FDA approved products in the human space. And we do a lot with Olympians, Paralympians, particularly those that are, struggle with injuries and stuff. But one of the medical studies that we have is we know categorically that this cycloid vibration therapy reduces muscle and joint pain. And I think every human can relate to this, is when you've got muscle and joint pain, it wakes you up. You don't sleep as good because you get stiff, you're sore, you try and roll over or you move, and then suddenly you get this like jolt of nerve pain because you're actually sore somewhere, whether it's through inflammation or whatever it might be. But like when you actually take that edge off and you reduce muscle and joint pain, that twitching and stuff that you're seeing is dogs going into deeper REM sleep, and that's the body decompressing. And twitching and stuff, like as long as a lot of people worry and they go, oh, my dog's having like a stroke or a spasm. It's often not the case. Little gentle twitching and stuff is quite normal. It's actually a good thing because they're decompressing. It's how they let go of the stress of their day. And particularly if you've got 6 dogs around, it's like having kids in the house, or we got a new puppy, Matt. So holy crap, it's she's they're biting each other and they're playing. But I can see that our older dog is more stressed at the moment because she's got to put up with the puppy that's just going through puppy stage. There's a level of stress. But I was sitting here last night on the couch just with her, and I'm watching her twitch and decompress, and I'm like, oh, okay, she's resting and unwinding now. So that's great. Like that's awesome.
And one thing I wanted to share with you, Scott, on top of all that, is I forgot to mention both his physical therapist, who's very well known in the Nashville area, and the acupuncturist that comes to the house. They have both said they've never seen anything like this. They can deliver this type of care and this level of care and I think that's really powerful to be able to actually deliver that without. I mean, my wife and I are able to have an acupuncturist come to the house and go to physical therapy. That's not easy, and it's expensive. But to have a product that actually can deliver this on a flexible schedule for consumers that just want to get their dogs the best, that's really powerful. And I think you should talk more about that because we heard both those messages in the last 2 weeks. So I need to remember to tell Scott this when we have our Instagram live.
Yeah, it's so true. I think people underestimate just how powerful and important convenience is. We can talk about cost all day long, and the cost of a dog cloud bed versus cost of therapy, and like, I mean, you're like a lot of people. You've spent a fortune on therapies, but I think it's the convenience. People forget. Well, I mean, one big thing we love to talk about too is like having it in your home means it's not 1 day a week of therapy and 6 days in pain. That's the big one for me. Like bringing therapy into the home. As you know, Max is probably getting 3 or 4 massages a day, right? Like he doesn't have to wait a whole week. He's got it every 6 hours if he wants it. Every 4 hours, 2 hours, he can have a massage. And and constantly stay on top of relief, which is the goal for us. But it's the convenience trying to get a dog who's struggling like Max is into a car to an appointment is way more stressful than people, I mean, that's not easy, is it? When you need a help me harness to lift them up, they're often big dogs that are heavy. It's just becomes physically a challenge for so many families out there, and they sit there wondering what to do. And the answer is bring therapy into the home. That's the goal of Dog Cloud, is to help millions of people in their home give their dogs this sort of quality of care.
And two other points to add to that, which is really important for this discussion and for the work that both I do at Project Hero and that my wife does as a board president of a local nonprofit called Daniel and Friends. But for Project Hero, if you think about the military working dogs with police canines, some of them, they have a lot of issues that they have to work out, and they're not like going to the vet is not an easy thing. They have to be muzzled. There's a lot of stress there, and so the ability to actually have this level of care for a dog that may not be able to easily see a vet, they may have to be. Our last chow, he had to be sedated literally to go and see the vet, so he had to be put under. And as you get older and older, that's very dangerous. And that was the only way for a more aggressive dog or a dog with that could be scared to actually see a vet or to get any type of care like this. So that's a huge use case that is really important. Separately, with the work that my wife does at Daniel and Friends Rescue, they get a lot of older dogs, and they have a lot of dogs who've been put through just these horrendous conditions in some of these rural communities outside of Nashville and in the southeast of the United States. And so some of them these dogs are so scared and so stressed that like every additional touch point or having to go see a vet or getting in the car can really cause some significant issues. It could make it even hard to rehome them because it's just it's stressful. So that at home that you can do that your product delivers. I think there's the convenience factor, but there's also I think the factors I just highlighted to speak to the mission of Project Hero, the mission of smaller nonprofits all over the world. Really care for these dogs is really powerful. So this product is doing great things, man.
Yeah, no, thanks so much, Matt. And like you're dead right, because the risk is not just to the dogs too. Like when they're in pain, they just get sometimes more aggressive. The bite factor, it becomes a risk to humans, to the vets, to the nursing staff, to everyone that's trying to handle, even to people in your own home, trying to get them to these appointments and stuff. So keep them in the comfort of their own home and where they're most relaxed. Everything smells familiar. And they can get medical grade therapy on a daily basis. It's just, you're right. It's probably stuff we should talk about a lot more. I think it's, you make really, really strong points. Look at him there. He looks so comfy.
Oh, Max, man.
He's Max, man. Mate, I know he really sort of struggles to walk. He's got a bit of movement when he's up in the wheelchair, and you're using the Help Me Up harness, which I think is a great product too. So shout out to those guys. I think awesome. Have you, just curious, and I don't know if it's true or not, but we haven't spoke about this. Have you seen anything in terms of muscle strength or anything around movement or anything in terms of mobility improvements? Because I know he's really struggles, and he's I don't know the right language. I don't want to say he's pretty far gone, but his mobility is really very, very genuinely struggling.
Yeah, no, it's a difficult thing to talk about. It's not fun where muscle atrophy. And a lot of that happened before we got this product. So it really is hard. I mean, like we think it's a win if he can move his feet without flipping them, and it's actually doing that. Like we actually noticed him being able to move his legs in the wheelchair and being able to respond and flip his feet over better than he was before this product. So like those little wins, it doesn't sound like a lot, but to us, it's incredibly meaningful. And it gives Max, the comfort, and we can tell that his mind, that it's communicating with his nervous system, and so absolutely, the blood flow is helping, the nervous system is communicating. He's never, we always joke we would love if the Amazon guy showed up and he with the other 5 dogs ran towards the Amazon driver, but we know this is definitely gone.
No, sure.
But we have noticed that, and really the better sleep and the deeper sleep
Yeah.
is what we, and we'll take those wins all day
Yeah,
long.
they're huge, and they're huge though. Like quality of sleep is a key part of recovery. Like any athlete and sort of health conscious human understands that. I think so. They are great wins. He actually just looks way more comfortable too. Like from, I know you showed him to me on video a couple of times. We've spoke when you had him out in the backyard and in the harness, and he just looks so much more chilled and de-stressed and stuff as well, which is just awesome. Like it's great. Hey, yeah, a quick question from someone who's on the call with us, mate. I'll fire this to you first because you've got 6 dogs. It's a question from A Cocker Pity. Hope I'm saying that right. Do most dogs tolerate the bed? I'd love to get one for my senior dog. So let's answer your experience. And look, I'll give you my opinion after that.
Yeah, that's a great question. Initially, so we've got a lot of dogs. Shepherds are very difficult dogs. They're very smart dogs.
Yeah.
So, you know, initially when we first turned the massage on for a 9-year-old German Shepherd, she took off right away. She's like, "What is this? I don't appreciate this noise or this feeling." And we love her. Kensington's great. But so what we did is we actually just turned the bed and we made it like a crate training situation. So I would then sit on the floor with Kensington, and as I turn on the first level massage and give her treats and reassure her, just like you would slowly introduce them into a crate.
Yeah.
So it's a process, but anyone that's willing to invest in their dog's health and buy this product would be willing to do that. So
Yeah.
that's what we found that worked really well with the dogs who are a little skittish. And half our dogs don't care and they love it. The other
Yeah.
half, they think that this bed's up to something sneaky. So we had to train them a little bit.
Yeah, and look, I'll answer it too because I've got a broader spectrum of all of our customer base across 5 different countries, but it's about 85% of dogs will just have no issues with it. There is a small percentage of dogs, maybe 10 or 15%, that'll be a little bit anxious, but I have not met a dog that cannot be trained to stay on a dog cloud bed. It is a very, very gentle, non-invasive vibration, so it's not penetrating in a way that's percussive. It's not a jackhammer. It's a circular motion vibration for anyone that's asking for the first time. So thanks to those questions. A few more people even joining us. We're still chatting now. People are coming on and on the call the whole time. It's a very easy thing to be able to get dogs used to it. And it's just showing them that you're comfortable on it too. Just sit on it yourself, enjoy a couple of massages yourself. The dogs then understand, oh, okay, this is okay. I'm allowed to be here. I think so many dogs are trained throughout their lives too. Like they get up on the couch, they're told to get off. I mean, this thing looks like a couch, and it's so super comfy. And it's so a little bit of training sometimes needed. But I've never seen a dog. We just got another message from someone. Canine Ricky and Canine Denny love their dog cloud. Now you're most welcome, Cockapitty. She just said thank you. He or she, sorry, said thank you for answering my question. But yeah, it is a very simple process. We've got videos on our website, and we've got lots of dog trainers and other videos and people that have chimed in on the best way to share that. Actually, Rose on the last call was brilliant at training her dog to get on the bed too. But mate, if you've got a motivated dog that likes food, a few snacks on the bed usually does the trick. So
I actually got a question for you, but I'll also shout out to Canine Ricky and Denny. That's actually from Whitwell, Texas. It's Jason Johnson. Punch Can Hero. So I'm glad that he's with us, and his dogs absolutely love this product. So I know he's incredibly thankful, and those dogs should serve our country and our communities. That it gives them, it delivers the massage that they deserve. So, but that question for you, my wife actually asked me. So half the time we'll put this on the floor closer to a plug. Other times we'll put this bed on the other side of our bed where there's ottomans. Does having this bed on a surface, just on a hard surface, impact the massage it delivers or impact the functionality of the product?
No. The way the bed is designed, like sometimes what it will do if you're moving it around from surface to surface, it may affect the sensor. So the sensor inside the bed is called Cloud Sense. That's what automatically detects the dogs. So if you're going from maybe a concrete floor and then you move it into a room that is elevated timber floor and it's hollow underneath, the sensor has the ability to detect what's below it and what's above it. So it can see a dog on the bed, eventually, basically is the way it works. It's a bit different to what a set of scales function like, where you can round it off to 0, and it kind of sees and senses what's around it. So sometimes if you're moving a bed, the automation may play up on you a little bit in terms of just delivering the automated and detecting a dog. But if that was the case, it'd have to be a very small dog, not a dog the size of Max. The sensors are going to very easily detect a dog that's Max's size. In terms of the therapy, no. Delivery of the massage and the therapy delivery would be unchanged. And the reason is, if I explain the construction internally, the motor is a mechanical motor that sits inside a housing that actually then has a stainless steel frame attached to it, which actually is inserted between layers of the orthopedic foam that we have, which is a higher than hospital grade foam we use in human mattresses, in bedding in Australia and across Asia Pacific for the other human products that we make. So it transmits very, very well through the foam. That is something we're able to test. And so we ran tests on that when we chose foams. I'll have to post this one day. I've talked about it a few times. I always forget to put the image up, but we have a Dunlop phone company, and we have probably 40 different foams that we actually went through and tested when we manufactured Dog Cloud, to look at transmission of massage through the foam to be able to deliver therapy through the dog. But as a lot of people know, I'm just looking, I don't think I've got my hand unit handy, but the massage travels and penetrates through 3 to 5 feet of bone and 2 to 3 feet of flesh and connective tissue. That's why it's so good on blood flow through tendons and ligament, which helps with repair of tendons and ligaments, particularly compromised ones and arthritic joints. Works so well on that. So it doesn't really matter where a dog lays on it, what kind of surface it's on. You'd have no issues. You could put it up on a soft bed. It doesn't matter if there's something soft under it, hard under it. It's really, the massage is being delivered out through the foam, and just the weight of the dog on the bed, they're going to feel it right through their body. You'll find that too, like if you put your hand on their hip or their shoulder while they're being massaged, you can often feel it coming right through their body, right? So we do that all the time with our little hand unit thing, and we put it in our hand and we get people to feel all the way up our arms and even across to our other shoulder, and they can still feel the massage. And actually Jason's just commented it has really helped with their mobility. He's talking about Canine Ricky and Canine Denny. So yeah, it's they've had great mobility stuff. Their dogs are a little bit younger than Max, but their mobility improvements have been there too, which is nice. The massage delivery is not really an issue. And in Australia, we have there's an old history story that I might share. I don't know if I've told you this, but back in the 1950s, because this original product was invented in the USA in Pennsylvania in 1949. And in the 1950s, there was a lot of work done with children around muscle spasticity, polio, muscle dystrophy, which were much more common. There wasn't certain vaccinations and other things. And I mean, polio is virtually eradicated now. It doesn't exist, and or to a point, like scurvy and other things. But there were real problems back in the day for children, and the muscle dystrophy was a real problem. And this product was built into like children's toys, train sets, ladders, and kids could go to clinics that had this cycloid vibration therapy through our human company built into the toys. In Australia for the last 20 years, that was something that our human company rekindled, and we've been building children's toys, and we've built now over 30 different centres across Australia. Some of them are in Ronald McDonald House, which is Ronald McDonald House attaches to the McDonald's Corporation with hospitals. And we have these train sets, and they're things that kids can sit in, and it's got all the therapy built into it for the children, and they're donated by us and our team of people and all of our staff that donate to these things. And if there's any downtimes in our manufacturing facility here in Brisbane, the guys out the back will get to work and make these toys, and we donate them to children's clinics and stuff around Australia. But like I said, across Australia, I think there's now, anyone can look it up. It's called Fairyland Centres. It's got its own dedicated website. It's all using the exact same motors that's in a Dog Cloud bed and in all of our human grade technology. And it's just such a good feel-good thing. We do it in managers' meetings. If someone's phone goes off in managers' meetings, they have to donate $50 straight to the Fairyland Clinic thing, and it goes in a pool, and we put that money into buying timber and motors and stuff, and then they make it. So we punish our managers to make stuff for children.
That's so cool. That's awesome. That's incredible.
Yeah.
What Doghouse does in the U.S. is, I didn't know they did it globally. is very special.
Yeah, yeah. Mate, it's so nice to see Max there chilling with you, mate. And no, look, thank you for taking the time to get on a call with us. Did you have any sort of final parting thoughts? I think one thing I'm going to do is just, you've mentioned a bunch of names just in this call. And I do want to give some shout outs too, but we'll put this, and I'll get Holly to put this into our into the bio and the description underneath. But yeah, Canine Rehabilitation Nashville.
Yep.
Project Canine Hero. We'll actually pop a coupon code in there for anyone if they want $50 off. It'll support Project Canine Hero. You'll get $50 off, and then we'll donate extra funds back to Project Canine Hero to support the police and military dogs that you guys and Jason and Heaven and all the team at Project Canine support and help fund the dogs, because it's an incredible organisation and you do so much to care for these dogs and their medical needs in retirement. Pay for all their medical, all their food. It's just so amazing. Danielle and Friends Rescue. That's where your wife helps out.
Yeah. Daniel and Friends.
Daniel and Friends. So let me get that right. Thank you, mate. And we'll make sure we've got the right link in there. But even the Help Me Up harness too, guys. It's just what a great product. It's given Max a quality of life, and yeah, we're just so stoked that Dog Cloud can be part of your journey as well now too. And really great you're happy with it, and thank you for all your feedback. So any parting thoughts, mate, from you as we depart? Yeah. But it's great to catch up.
I've got two. You're ending the call with Feel Good, the Ronald McDonald House, and those stories about the products for kids. And another thing that I really enjoy is when I'm gone and I'm traveling to work and my wife's here alone, I get the little notification from the app, like Max and complete his massage. Like that's, when I see that, it just brings me a lot of joy. And your product, while it's also delivering wellness features for Max, it's also making the consumer feel good about what they're doing and what they invest in with their dog. So there's that. And separately, I want to thank you as a member of the executive team, Project Hero. We're just honored for your partnership. You're a good man, you're a good friend, and your product delivers excellence. So I'm thankful for your time tonight. We're thankful for the partnership, and look forward to the next conversation.
Yeah, mate. Well, might see you at Super Zoo. Yeah, you're going to head to Super Zoo in Vegas?
I'll see you in Vegas, man.
I look forward to it, mate. We'll see if we can down another bottle of red wine together.
That sounds good.
All right, mate. Matt, thank you so much. To all the team at Project Canine Hero too, thank you so much, and hope everyone has a great day. Thanks.
Thanks, Scott.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.